That's a Shame is brought to you by the people who support us over at patreon.com/shamecity.
If you have $1,
$2.
$1 to spare, join us again at patreon.com/shamecity. Please.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
Good morning, you've slept the whole night through. Good morning, join in, good morning to you. It's episode 140 of That's a Shame. I'm Isaac, very melodic today, and joining me just there, gazing into my eyes with something approaching admiration, it's Declan D. Lane.
It's
Round of
incredible. Oh,
applause.
thank you.
No, for me, I'm not, because of my singing.
It's incredible how the Venn diagram of admiration and just abject fear has such huge crossover.
And it's something that
middle.
dictators have tapped into since time immemorial.
Dictators and psychopaths,
performers.
murderers.
I suppose so as well, yeah. Well, they're deeply performative folk, all three.
Yeah,
categories.
exactly.
It's about that cult of personality that really gets people behind you as a murderer.
Yeah, like when they sort of do things like they say, "Oh, I'm something prime," like I'm host prime, like I'm the number one.
Optimus Prime. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Well, that would be no. That's a bad example. Of that. Anyway, welcome back to episode 140. You didn't think we'd make it this far, but we did. We
Just
simply
to spite
did.
you all.
And not only is it episode 140, there are a number of really special modifiers, I suppose, on today's show. First and most pressing of which is this big clock over Declan's shoulder that tells me that any second I'm wanted elsewhere. I'm about to embark on a sort of double voyage. First to central London, which is only a mere stone's throw away from where we dwell here at Shame Towers. Then I'm picking up some sort of creepy discs there. That's all I've been told.
Okay.
Got to pick up some discs.
Right.
Then
for
I've got to,
anyone in particular?
Yeah, for the government. Then I've got to whisk them off to Canterbury, where I'll be going this evening for a brief stopgap with my family and also friend from sixth form. I realised anyone that I knew from sixth form I'm about to have known for a decade, which made me want to, let me tell you, end it all.
Oh, end it all.
And then early I'll rise the next morning. You know me, I'm a morning night bird.
You cannot move for you in the
I'm
morning.
a morning early worm boy.
Yeah.
I slither out of bed.
You get your big mini beast sucker from primary school, and you just
nice podcast deep cut.
Stick it into the ground,
and
into
I
the
really
earth.
just proclaim myself part of the day. And I've always appreciated the morning
And that could
sun.
be any time from 1 p.m. onwards.
Generously.
The best morning there is.
But no, I have to be up in the real early world because I've got one of my fave activities, sit in the back of the car for 5 hours.
Wow.
Hooray! As I drive up this great country of ours.
Well, I'm getting up in the actual early in the morning tomorrow as well, but I don't even get to do anything as fun as sit in the back of the car for 5 hours.
What do you have
doing
to do?
some work.
Oh, goodness gracious me. I'm sorry to hear that.
I know.
So anyway, there's that time pressure on the show, and I think that the way that will manifest itself, if it hasn't already, is in a great frenetic energy that will just power through us. We'll be conduits to that temporal pressure throughout the show.
Well, see, I won't.
You are,
No, because
so there'll be a real,
I've got
yin
nothing
and
but
yang.
time.
Declan, nothing but time delaying there. The second and dare I say most important thing ever to happen to the world is that we have not today when this episode is recorded, not today when this episode is aired, but a while ago. How's Addison Lee going to text me? I've never been in one in my life. Just fuck off, Addison Lee. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. We're not sponsored by them. And I, in fact, encourage you to do anything but take Addison Lee. We'll add them to the Viavan blacklist of services not to use.
We are going to take this capitalist system down one car-based company at a time.
What I'm getting at, and forgive me for prevaricating, but it's an emotional moment for us all, for me, for you, for the listenership.
Yep.
It is today. No, I forgot. It's not today. It was. Today is when we are celebrating
Oh, dear.
the second Shameiversary of the podcast. Cast your mind
as
back.
Opposed to second Shameiversary of something else.
Of this
Have you started adding them
baby? That there is. April 18th.
April 18th.
Yeah, I got the notification on Twitter, and it wouldn't. It said like, "Oh, we've made this fun tweet for you to tweet out for your Twitter anniversary." Because you'll remember in episode pilot, the number 10 episode, we made the Twitter at the very end of the show to cap it off, a momentous kind of peak that we reached at the end. Mm-hmm. So the Twitter is exactly the same age as the show, and it had been like, "Oh, do you know how old you are?" And then it was like 2. So it was like, good, okay. And it had prepared a tweet for me to do. And it wouldn't, on my phone, load, it attached like a picture or a GIF, but it wouldn't load what it was. So I assumed it was going to be like Facebook does those nice videos where it's like bum, bum, bum,
yeah,
ba-da-ba-dum-bum, like here are some of the highlights. And then I tweeted it.
Dange being sick all over the streets of York.
I tweeted it and then excitedly like ran over to the computer, twitter.com/that's a shame. And it was just the shittest, like bad Pacifico font number 2 on a really like hellish optical illusion background, and it, I'll admit, dampened my spirits for the whole anniversary. And I don't think we've really discussed the fact that we've
avoided it.
Yeah, because it's like the big elephant in the room, the big time elephant, that every time its trunk sways pendulously to and fro, hither and thither, it beckons in an even further along step in the process of ultimate decay that is life.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, on a slightly jollier note, that every time we do mention the Twitter, I am very grateful still that we were cognizant enough in those early fledgling moments
salad
of the podcast,
days of youth, youth,
to dispense with the idea of having the handle at That's a Shame Pod.
Oh, yeah.
Because Shame Pod continually disgusts me.
It haunts you like the promise of what could have been. It's like the ghost of what you avoided.
Yeah, but normally that's like, you get haunted by things that could have been great.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, that could have, but with this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's an arrogant haunting.
I'm haunted instead by the ghosts of what might have been because it's so frightening.
It's the equivalent of being like extremely successful. And then every day you wake up and you're like, oh, could have been nothing. Could have been Povo. And then the ghost comes in and is like, that's what you could, but you're fine because you're not.
Yeah,
so it's the kind of haunting, I guess, that we don't mind.
No, happy for that. Less of the ghosts fucking about with the TV.
Yeah,
less of these weird footsteps on the roof.
Declan thinks our roof is inhabited by...
Not inhabited by, visited by.
An under-overclass of people who, whilst they do live above us, are definitely living worse lives
morally
because they're on our roof of the 5th. What would it be? It'd be like the 5th, living on the 5th floor.
Yeah,
but the 5th floor is just sky.
Has no ceiling.
So who's the real winner? It's them. It's a time, I suppose, of reflection when you get as old as we are in the pod years, because in 2 in pod years, that's hundreds.
Is it?
No one knows the exact formula.
Wow.
It's something like dog and a half is where I'm sent to be. But then there's a whole exponential thing, and really it's too complicated to even bother with. But certainly the data supports the fact that most podcasts die a quick, sort of snuffed out of existence life. Like if you clapped your hands around a firefly like that, and that was just the end of it. Not that I've done that, and I wouldn't do that. No. And I'm just here to say that you shouldn't either. But most of them die before episode 10, I think. So we've been pushing every single day that we continue to exist is a triumph. And I don't feel like people at large appreciate that enough.
Including us.
Especially us. Because every day is a new victory.
We kind of ran towards that 10 marker, I think, as quickly as we could.
Just to get out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
that's not reflected in the quality of the show.
Essentially invincible.
Seems to be the case so far. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily jinx it, and I will be rebuking that in the name of Jesus Christ.
No, not us.
If the spirit moves you, you might want to rebuke it as well.
I'm all right.
But if it moves you...
I promise I'll let you know straight
Okay, well,
away.
You just keep me updated on the whole spirit motion.
Yeah, and we've got at various paces, haven't we, throughout the course of the show? Fast.
Too fast.
Slow.
Too slow.
Way too slow.
Very, very few of them in that just right Goldilocks sweet spot bracket. But we try every day.
We do our goddamn best.
And I think this weekly schedule, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's working all right.
Apart from the ones
weeks we do it. It's working incredibly.
Oh, dear.
We're recording 2 days in advance today. I mean, that's madness, isn't it?
Nuts.
Sickening.
And that's purely out of love.
And also, it's not particularly difficult. So it does raise the question as to why we don't
do it more often.
Yeah.
Well, it's because we are, we're both of us in that kind of bracket of people who are motivated by pressure, and that's when we perform best.
So I suppose this is, like deadline day, isn't it? Because you've got to fuck off to the north.
Exactly.
Well, to the centre, to the south, and to the north.
That's the exact trajectory I'll be taking.
You're doing a sort of like parabola down and back up.
Yeah, with slingshot technique around Canterbury. If you go around that M road, you really pick up a bunch of gravity. Woof, right off.
Straight back up into the heavens.
When you think back to the person you were on April 18th, 2017, year of our Lord, how do you consider the trajectory to have been between that Declan and the Declan today? And is it just a straight upward, like glow up kind of vibe?
Oh, no.
Talk me through the kind of shapes
to Betsy, no. Christ alive on this day, no. It's weird because I think for the show, in terms of the show, that it's been a pretty upward trajectory.
That's good.
I think there have, of course, been dips.
I can't think of any. It's interesting you should say that.
All right. That's fine. Maybe the listenership.
We'll get in touch to put that.
Emailing in droves. For myself, there have been some ups.
Yeah. Oh, goodness, the ups.
There have been some downs.
Yeah. So they have. So I guess it's like a kind of cardiogram.
Yeah, I'm sort of oscillating. But I believe that the general trajectory is up. And that's what matters.
And as a podcaster yourself, do you feel like you've taken on a great new understanding of broadcasting as a medium?
Yes, but nothing to do with the podcast. Just to do with further work.
Extracurricular.
That's it. Just further work.
It's really moulded you.
I thought there'd be another word, but no, it's all contained in that simple and yet depressing.
That
monosyllable.
Inability to find another word under the pressure of the recordo time is an example of how you haven't grown.
No, I'm still appalling.
Or as we could invert that and find the kind of opportunity that it presents.
I'm so comfortable with dead air.
Left to grow. Like a beautiful flower growing into maybe a future, I don't know. Sarah, is her name Sarah Koenig from Serial? Because I really see a lot of her in you. I don't know her name, and I haven't listened to Serial much, but God, you remind me of a young Koenig.
That must just be instinct then.
It is instinct, yeah, because when she was out there solving all those crimes, you remember she solved one crime, then another.
There's something like that, yeah.
Then a third crime. Or maybe the third crime is yet to come. In any case, there is a journalistic integrity there that I think is something that you pride yourself on.
Thank you. And I think, whilst it's true that there are these moments where I could do with being a little sharper, a little quicker on the ball in terms of finding my next word, I think that the obverse is true perhaps for you. And that sometimes you need to find some moments to stop saying the words.
Stop saying all of the words.
Yeah, because what you do sometimes is, in order not to leave any of that gap and not to appear
dull-witted, like an idiot freak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What you do instead
dumb
is that you
anti-speech
make
fool.
yourself into a big disgusto. And you fill the air with what is a frankly obscene volume of bodily horror.
That's really interesting. It speaks, I suppose, to the subjectivity of art, because no one else has found that to be the case. And it's really interesting that the baggage that you bring to the table, quite literally today, as we sit at this ovoid delight, it has moulded your mind and your experience into this almost like a receptacle for body freakish frights, whereas a more I don't want to say well-adjusted, but I suppose I already have.
I would advise that you don't.
A more well-adjusted mind would just pass through it like a beautiful orchard of appropriate bodily imagery where it was necessary and only where it was necessary.
Right, but the thing is that you seem to have, in saying that, not just erased, but totally negated, ignored, marginalised.
Wow, these are some
quite
politicised words.
Yeah, the quite significant level body of complaints that we've received from some of our closest friends of the way in which you do tend to elaborate slightly too deeply into the body,
boring
the body
inside
fluid.
the appendix
this is
content,
it. You see it
like a mealworm.
And all I'm saying is that it's an affront on a par with racism.
Oh, goodness.
From you.
Wow. They're, Declan, both attacking me and minimising the greatest sin on God's green earth. He was joking, of course, because he thinks I'm great and he thinks racism awful.
I really thought you were going to say also great. And I was going to have to do a third correction.
Dear me, we don't have time for all these corrections, do we?
No.
We've got to live by the skin of our teeth. Mm-hmm. A phrase that, I'll admit, upsets me to the core, but I'm not afraid to deploy.
Now, there you go, you see. So, you know that little bit of fear that you get there when you
you've
hear
got to power through the fear.
No.
Yeah, you do. No, that's one of the big advices.
What you've got to do is go, maybe my fear is a feeling that others will share, and I'd rather not inflict that on them in what should be an hour of self-professed entertainment.
First of all, don't call it an hour, because this is almost the end. Second of all, I provide a service where you can, in a safe space, test that kind of initial pang of anxiety that some of what either of us say on any given day might cause. And you can just learn to accept and sit with it for a minute and find that it's fine, because that is really the core of a lot of modern day thinking about worry and about concern, is that you have to accept in order to move on. You have to be like, I feel anxious and that's fine. It's like that audition thing. When you're sitting there in that row of 8 people who look exactly like you, knowing in your heart of hearts that you're the best version, you've got to just sit with it and be like, it's all right. It's all right to feel that anxiety. It's normal. And so if you're attacking that idea, it sounds like you hate, as well as what you've said, some bold claims, you hate people who have anxiety disorders. Is that the case?
Idea.
Okay.
No, I feel like you're actually taking advantage of them to defend yourself unduly.
I would never.
Well, no, but you have.
Would never, could never.
But you just did.
Should never.
No, should never.
And I'm on the record as saying that now.
Yeah.
In as much as this is.
But what I'm saying is that you didn't get their consent for that little experiment.
Well, I don't need to, because I'm one of them myself. I consider myself a very anxious person.
That's not how that works.
I'm an anxious person, and therefore I'm speaking as one. Where I'm like, come on, Anxos. I'm like pulling them over to the soft table.
Yeah, but you didn't say that before you suddenly started about the appendix of content.
It's clear as day. We are very much simpatico.
They
and I.
See,
I mean, we and us.
Yeah.
And we sit as one.
Oh, that's good. Well, I know that a few of our listeners suffer from anxiety, so perhaps they would like to message in and just say whether or not.
Yeah, and I'll be setting up a new sort of hotline, Declan at shame.city, if you want to get in touch with any of those.
Just go ahead. Yeah, send them straight to me.
Anxos.
That'll be good.
As we hurtle now into our 3rd year.
And our final minutes.
Of content. And the seconds tick down till I have to depart these shores. It behoves us, I think, and pull me up if I'm wrong here.
Oh, I will.
You won't, because I am right.
Okay.
It behoves us to cast our minds into the future of Shame, the future of the show, the future of the brand that we are carving out of the marble of life, chiseling away second by second, trying to gaze within that firm block of dense white powder grain and just reveal the beauty, like Michelangelo would have done if he were anywhere near as brave as we are, and less dead than he's chosen to be. And that comes down for me to one word more than any other, and it's a word that I know fills you with inspiration, with intrigue, with desire.
Hugely terrified.
Features.
Features. Right.
Because it's something that has been a cornerstone of the show since day dot. Since the first second we opened our mouths.
Yes,
and whilst this episode is much more freeform as an artistic callback to the original episode, and that's definitely why I planned it.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And we talked about that before, so what Declan was doing there was a bit. That's a bit we do where we're like, oh, is that what? Yeah, it is. The revelation, we called that scene in our moleskin notebooks and script, They've been there for us from the beginning. maybe you'd like to just take a moment and think about some of your favourites.
Some of the great
history.
features.
Some of the real heavy hitters.
Well, there was...
Go on.
Oh, there's
out
almost...
with it.
Oh, there's two...
I know there are, but
there was
where
all
would
those,
you start?
There was all those times I spoke about the car.
Oh, that one. What was that feature called?
It didn't even need a name.
Uncle Declan's Vroom Vroom Corner.
It transcended certainly that, but also the idea of naming itself. It was it was almost like the lifeblood of the show for a very
like the motorway
regrettable
itself.
period. Yeah.
Metaphors.
Now this is an even better callback because it hasn't happened.
Call forward.
You're attempting to gaslight the audience into believing they've already heard this feature just so that you don't have to write it.
I tried to write Metaphors because it's such a good title, I think you'll agree, and it came to me, I think, only shortly after another excellent feature I'm sure you were just getting around to, the one about teeth. What was it called? Has it got teeth?
If not, that's a good name
teeth?
for it.
Which
it was just called Your Rap Feature.
Oh yeah, the tooth rap.
No, it was just called My Rap Feature because you refused to divulge the tooth element until
Daddy
recording.
Dental's Didgeridon'ts was one of the titles that we threw out back in the day. Oh,
Big Daddy Dental.
Yeah. Because it was about Donald Duck, and that's one of his monikers is Big Daddy Dental.
Oh, back when he was like Mortimer Mouse.
Yeah,
and Big Daddy Dental.
Daddy Dental, and then Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
And someone came in and rebranded.
A fixer, a consultant came in and
slapped the shit out of Walt and said,
"I'm going to give you this once, and I'm going to give it to you now.
Big Daddy Dental,
it's gotta go." And he burst those teeth right out of their sockets with one of those like hard balloons that you inflate, and they exploded outwards, and that's why he has that speech impediment today. It's a little bit of Disney history there.
The things you learn when you go on those tours.
Absolutely. I've spent hours on those tours, and they don't stop you asking teeth questions. They don't encourage it, but I don't think are allowed to say enough is enough because of the sheer amount of money that you're paying to be part of the Disney Dental Secrets tour.
And the computer, of course, would terminate them if they did.
Absolutely, straight away, that big evil computer that runs the whole House of Mouse. So that's obviously a fave. Metaphors, let's say it's on the cards for the next year then. That's a kind of tease.
Wow, for the next year?
A meaty tease.
You don't want to commit yourself to any unreasonable deadlines.
Well, as an artist...
You can't rush art.
Exactly, you can't... When it comes to something as personal as well as Metaphors, which is really going to be me exposing my soul to the listenership and saying, does it look like me? Does it sound like me? Then, gosh damn it, it probably is
must
meat.
Be meat.
It is, I suppose, one of the main hurdles to that is that it doesn't make sense as a feature so far. The idea was we'd come up with some metaphors involving meat, and then you just have to and that's where I lose track. You have to see if like them.
Work.
Yeah, maybe it's you have to guess what they could mean, and I'll have written down, or I could write like 3 meanings for them. Problem is they'd all be made up. So it would just be arbitrarily me saying, this is the right one.
Yeah, like those lateral thinking puzzles.
Yeah, a lot like that.
That was a feature I enjoyed doing.
The garage riddle was a feature.
No, not a feature.
You loved that double episode feature.
I did like it, but it wasn't a feature. I don't think it can count.
I think it should.
It was a narrative.
Yeah.
It's much more than a feature.
Okay.
Also, we didn't invent any of it. We just read a script.
I did invent it. I led that life.
Yeah, but you didn't invent it. Like,
don't make me sick.
A, alone, or B, as content. It happened organically to you.
Yeah, as all content does. No. You telling me that lateral puzzles just come out of the ether?
I just sit here and carve that out of the earth.
I suppose so. That was a good feature. Another great one, or another great genre that only recently has been lauded in listener email feedback is the cups.
Oh.
And those cups, I mean... When I purchased them at IKEA, I'll be honest, I lacked imagination on that day, which is rare for me because I just saw them as a convenient, colourful drinking vessel.
A nice little receptacle for...
And also a connection with childhood because they're colourful plastic cups, the likes that you give to stupid children who can't hold glass. In order that they don't lacerate the gums smash on the floor and then
lacerate the feet.
Yeah, the soul, the great big bloody soul that would come about as a result of that failure to hold.
You're doing it again.
And so when I bought them, little did I know what could become the potentiality contained within. And it took your sideways glance at life to unlock them as not just drink containers, but content fonts. Talk to me about that.
What it was, I needed something to hold some bits of paper.
And I didn't want necessity.
I didn't want something too big. Well, it's the mother of invention.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
I didn't want anything too big. I mean, those little tiny scraps of paper in our big bowls.
Well, they get lost
in a saucepan.
Your fingers would be searching.
You'd
spend
them. So long looking for it that the show would be done.
It would be over before we even knew.
But equally, you need something because otherwise they're just on the floor.
Well, and especially in the breezy mansion we live in, they'd have been out the window. Maybe the pigeons that live on our balcony would have appropriated it as nest material.
Plus, you know, I feel like the cups add a sort of clandestine element to what lies within.
Well, it's quite
Whereas
atavistic.
if they were just spat across your bed,
yeah, horrid.
Then
even the verb,
then you'd be able to see. And I don't trust you not to choose them, you know, in your own favour.
No, well, I would be doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
I know.
So I do try and do that even
I know. I watch you.
Yeah, I try and have a little peek.
You like to have a
I
little
let the
watch.
fingers feel for the ink.
You kind of
see what residue
have a little
there is.
sideways glance as you're fumbling about in there, see if you can catch sight of any words you recognise.
You've got to in this kind of world.
And
it's dog eat dog.
And I want it to be as raw an experience for you and the listeners as possible. I want you challenged. And I want you to finally learn to be challenged without resorting once again to the big vat of bodily horror wherein you reside.
Interesting. You had me until the end, where you sort of skirted off down a bigoted tangent.
Was it at the criticism part?
Yeah, that's really weird.
Wow, that's mad. That's
something for you to think about there.
Yeah, and yours.
And the cups as well, they kind of tie us back to our ancestors. And I'll say no more about that.
No, I'll probably best.
Because it's just true.
Seems an indefensible.
Well, it's just true.
As in indefensible in the sense that it doesn't need to be defended.
Yeah. Indefensible because why would you need to? Because it's so patently fact.
Exactly.
But you've pushed me, so I will dive into that now for 5 to 10 minutes. The Beaker people first landed on these shores.
Another feature that I have enjoyed was when we wrote all those poems.
I don't remember that. And I don't think it happened.
Okay, well, we'll
go
move
on. Talk
on,
to me about it.
We wrote poems about a book, a film,
a
song,
I do
a television
remember.
show, and they were well received. They were well written.
Thank you.
That's all right. I was talking mainly about me, but you also.
Yeah, no, mine were.
And they're available on the Patreon.
Are they?
In a document.
Wow. The things I do and forget about. Honestly.
Incredible.
It's really powerful.
Have you worried about that ever?
No, because I can remember. I just choose not to be bothered by most things that happen. It's just a way of latching on to, like, really honing in your gaze on the things you really care about. Like.
Such as?
The alphabet. Now, that's always been important to me.
Always there.
Yeah, just at a moment's
without
notice,
that
officer. Backwards and forwards, yes. Wow. Although I found out, and this is a little Easter egg, if you're ever pulled over by the cops, apparently it's a loser's game, that whole say the alphabet backwards. Because if you
get it too well, they assume you've rehearsed it.
No, if you even engage with it, they think you're drunk. Because only a drunk idiot would be like, sure, this sounds reasonable.
What?
Apparently I read it on the internet. And therefore, it is enshrined in fact.
The police.
The police are playing mind games with us.
Oh, I see. So what I should do is resist arrest.
No, what you should do is start swinging. Start flailing
Drive
big
off.
time. A, B, C, D. Fists asunder.
Z, Y.
But no, it's the kind of, if you're ever in this situation, and you would feel that anxiety, of course, whirling around in the chest, and I want you to, like I say, just accept. And as you do so, you look them in the eye, you hold that gaze and you say, officer, sir, I won't play your games. I just won't. And then the ball isn't their court because they're not used to that kind of sober, in every sense of the term, dismissal of their methods. They're not taught a great deal, the police, being as they are generally quite horrid and dumb and bigoted. Let's not forget prejudiced and bigoted. Racist. Love attacking people to the grave. You were telling me about a police just yesterday that done a murder.
Did a big
but
murder.
We can be sure they'll get off for it.
No, but there's like some of the ones who dance at the pride
That's
parades.
really, that makes up for it, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
that is good. So
And I think as a global community, we
out
agree
being-
that's fine, therefore, is kind of the refrain I'm hearing.
exactly, it balances out being a kind of fascistic tool of state violence because they
and racist state violence as well.
racist state violence as well.
Classist.
Classist
Don't
state
forget
violence.
that.
I know. I was just trying to think.
Homophobic.
Well, obviously,
Yeah.
no, but that's kind of negated, isn't it? Because of there were a couple of them who sort of joined in with the Extinction Rebellion kind of guys.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, it's
that's
good.
all right. So
it's
fine.
all good, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
They've extended that hand of friendship to us, and who are we to bat it away?
Exactly.
Or indeed pull out an AR-15 and just shoot it into the ground.
Or be shot down
By
ourselves.
it. Yeah, more likely that way, I suppose.
Probably. Yeah.
I can't remember what we were on about anymore.
You were saying if you get pulled over by the police, don't. do the
Just
alphabet.
don't. That's just a tip. That's a freebie from me.
Wow.
Let's role play it now. Okay, you're driving along. I need you to make some sounds. You've never been in a car. It sounds like.
Oh fuck! It's the pigs.
Are you pulling over?
Yeah,
You
I've
wouldn't say that
pulled
as
over.
well out loud. That would be in your head.
No,
thought.
I'd say it out loud before.
No,
I
because
pulled
they're
over.
already listening.
Yeah.
Because they can.
Hope so.
That's not gonna. Okay, well, let's see how that plays out. Knock, knock, knock. That's on the window. Put your window down, fuckhead. How's it going?
Yes.
Sorry, what was
Yes.
that? You're resisting.
Yep.
You are resisting.
Come at me.
No need for the alphabet in that circumstance.
No, exactly.
So
Wow, I didn't even have to use the handy
let's
tip.
try that again, but there was some immense confrontation there. We're gonna dial that
We're gonna
back.
pull that back. Okay.
Nino. Pull over to the side of the road, sir.
Yep. We're at the side.
Take your window off. Take it off. All the way off. Not down, sir. I'm gonna need it off. Off the vehicle.
Yep. That's done.
Don't fuck around with me, sir.
It's done. Don't you worry.
Shoot him!
No.
Okay, now that was on me that time.
Now I'm finding very little need for this advice of yours.
No, but you actually failed in the test that the police were putting forwards there.
Right. What was that test?
A sober man would have said, "That's the wrong preposition, officer, but I have put the window down."
Right, but the thing is that he specifically stated not down, off. So he knew.
A sober person would be willing to fight their corner in that that
The
linguistic
last time
regard.
that I fought my corner, he shot me in the face.
Well, it's a toss-up.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not
It's
foolproof.
No, nothing
Oh,
is.
right. Oh, sorry.
These are encounters that you're going to lose one way or another, and so it's important to prepare your mind state for that.
I might just not pull over them.
Okay, well, let's see how that plays out. Nino, pull up, sir. Oh, well, he's gone.
Oh,
You won the hypothetical.
Wow.
That's a new feature, hypotheticals with Isaac.
Oh, don't bring that back.
We're going to do another one right now.
Oh, okay.
We're going to roleplay as I'm a butcher, and you're here for secret meats, the forbidden meat. Ding dong. Hello, sir. Welcome to the butchery shop.
Hello, good butcher.
And what brings you to my fine establishment today?
It's the secret meat.
Hunger for
the forbidden meat.
Get out of this shop.
Is this not where you sell it?
Cast aspersions on me, sir. We don't deal in the forbidden meats
I
round
was just
these
going by the
parts.
chalkboard outside that
It says nothing of
Step
the
in
sort.
for the secret meats.
That's only if you read the first line of every admittedly bold sentence.
Right. So did you not?
Come here.
Oh yeah.
You can't just ask for the secret meats.
Oh right. Do I need a sort of metaphor to kind of
Say that again.
like a sort of idiom or something?
No.
A simile.
A meat.
Simile.
Yes. Hit me with one of them. We'll see what we can do. Oh, nothing over here, madam. Just a normal meat transaction. Well, there was no one there.
No. Wow. That was some beef.
Some what?
That was some beef that
You want
had
some
with
beef?
that lady.
Here you go.
No. That was
Have
the
a good day.
metaphor
Off
for the
you go.
secret.
Scene. You've lost us. You've kind of buried us in the mire, as
Right.
it were.
Oh, sorry. No, why?
The problem was your character. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the problem.
Oh, what about them?
And I don't mean the one you were playing.
Oh, no, just my own apathetic approach.
Because if you're going for the forbidden, in this hypothetical, the butcher is on his guard. Like, that's why they have those big square knives.
Yeah.
Because you can shoot round corners, which you can't do with a straighter, or indeed more curved kind of, how's the word said? Is it scimitar?
Yeah.
Yeah? You can't do that with a curved knife because it would get lodged in the vertex.
Right.
Square knife, you put it up to the corner, you tilt your hand out at an angle, and it will chop whatever's there.
Yeah.
Person or forbidden meat. And so I think you need to respect the butcher more. You need to dial in as not an adversary, but as someone who's on his side.
Right. What I was going for, though, you see, was someone naive.
That absolutely
read,
but it was too naive because...
Oh, I see. No, well, I suppose
that's going to make us anxious. We'll think you're the fuzz.
I suppose
the
my
meat fuzz.
Naivety...
the hair on the pork scratchings.
Came in from the fact that I
The dermis follicular. Yeah. No, keep going. Is this part of the...
I myself... felt as though we were operating on slightly different levels of information.
Well, we were.
Yeah, because I don't know what the secret meats / the forbidden meat
That's why they're called secret.
Yes, but I'm assuming that you know.
Of course I know.
Yeah, exactly. So I
it's
quite
the ball is in
situation.
your court to kind of
so I figured,
out the information.
I figured
why not charisma.
Why not like just come in?
Too direct, you spooked them.
But I got the information.
You didn't find out.
But I got the butcher to admit that they sell them.
Ah, wily. Now I didn't reckon on that. So what you're suggesting is that this is like a time loop where you can just get more information.
No, but what I'm saying is that
to build out the full fleshy picture.
Come back with a disguise
of the twitching meat. Disguise. Let's see how that goes. Scene. Being a butcher's all very well, except all the animals have got to go to hell. Chop them in the brain and I'll chop them in the neck. If they come round to... Oh, hello, sir. Yeah, come in. Come in. Open the door, there you go.
Jawohl.
Huh?
Jawohl.
Sorry, sir.
How are you?
Are you one of them foreigners I hear about on the press?
Did I do a givings away of myself?
Yeah. We don't quite put it that way in our native tongue. We say, did I blow my cover? Am I a made man?
Ah.
Aye.
And
you are, for sure. What can I do you for? What can I do for you today?
I'm looking for some secret meat.
Oh dear, you've blown it again. Now, putting on a German, like, stereotypical accent, that doesn't disguise the secret meat request.
But the listeners couldn't hear that I got a full garb on as well.
Yeah, and I couldn't see that. That was Imagino garb.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Just like it's an Imagino shop.
Well, no, it's not. I mean, I've brought that to life.
We're actually in a bush.
Yeah,
is that your claim? The unorthodox recording.
Well enough.
Right, well, I'm imagining my disguise.
Not well enough.
Well, not well enough for me.
Exactly. Well, it's a question of standards there.
Oh, I see. You think I can actually see
I know that
the butcher's shop?
Because I saw you looking around at my hanging chicken and turkey display that I've put up to attract the flies that are meat customers. And just flies.
It's a real 1-2. 2 birds, 1 corpse.
Look, let's leave this. This is a feature that we've test driven, and that I know
straight into
that's
the
got
wall.
Legs. So we'll be bringing that back in future episodes.
Are you sure?
I'm 100%.
Because sometimes you can have too much of a good thing.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not saying every episode, just every other.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
And is the entire feature just me trying to gain access to the secret meats?
No, that's done. That was a one and done. And that's
I see.
really the benefit, thank you for bringing it up, of the feature, is that the only limits are our creativity.
Oh, I see. You just meant improv in general.
No. It's called hypotheticals. You're presented with a hypothetical situation in which there is a multitude of answers,
right,
only one of which is correct. So, for example, in the butcher scenario, the correct answer was to come in dressed as a pork chop, thereby signalling your familiarity with the meat sphere, thereby putting the butcher at ease. He would have instantly looked at you, winked, and pulled down on the turkey's neck, which, sure, it would have come off, and it would have been a cacophony of gizzards. Let's put no finer point on it than that. But it would have opened the secret passage into the dark locker which, although it looks cold, it's just dry ice because that's where the forbidden meats are hunkered down for the long winters. So obviously you would have got there eventually, but I guess the problem is you just have to be quicker off the mark.
Yeah, I suppose, maybe random German citizen was probably not far enough from my initial character.
They're a lover of meats, the Germans, traditionally.
They do.
I can appreciate the gesture, and you were going in the right direction, but it was going to take too long.
Yeah, and I capitulated again to that desire to just ask for the secret meats.
Yeah, and I know what that's like. Like, we've all been there. If someone has a secret, you just want to come out and ask it. And sometimes a blunt tool is the sharpest of all, mentally speaking.
Oh, right, okay. So I was going to say, you just said it's really blunt.
Well, it's an oxymoron, but one that I'm using to illustrate a very profound and poetical point, which is that blunt stuff can be very effective. I'm thinking hammer against a skull, hammer against a meat locker.
Hammer against most things.
Hammer wins.
Sort of its job.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors, hammer. Option B. Every time it will win the day. So that's my offering. Maybe over to you now for what features you can see coming.
Well, largely I thought most of the ones that I see coming revolve around did we mention the cup?
Oh, the cups. Yeah, no, we have. Some people have been saying that's getting a bit stale, a bit old hat.
Didn't you just say that we'd had an email saying that it was, in fact, very good?
Keyword was. Past tense.
I thought it asked for sort of more.
No, I don't seem to recall that being the case.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. That's fine.
So just take the cups out of the equation.
Obviously, that's fine.
And what have you got to offer? Like some seem to think that you're hiding behind them as a kind of plastic safety blanket.
That's
like Linus in Snoopy. He was an incel.
Well, he was. Lincel.
He was blanket cell.
I understand people's concerns in that regard, and I'll be honest.
And I hope you're not upset that I've voiced them, because I am the mouthpiece of the listeners.
No. I mean, all it is an attack on my self-worth and integrity.
No, it's not an attack.
At a time when it's
it's coming from a place of love and respect,
like below the floor.
You need to know,
like down deep.
And
down
we're trying to
earth.
Just like that robot in Robot Wars, we're getting under it to just flip it back up.
Oh, right.
Sky high.
We're pretty...
Like a Mario Odyssey multi.
I think it's time, if you're ready, because
Here it comes.
Pretty well...
You can't have cups, but you can have...
the bowls.
Oh.
It's a similar...
It's very similar.
It's not, but...
A cup is just a bowl for food.
See, now you've just... See, that's such a simplistic statement.
A bowl for drink, actually. I said what a bowl was. Yeah. Because a bowl is a bowl for food.
A bowl is just a bowl.
But not for drink. You can't drink out of a bowl, didn't know if you...
No, that's the law in most counties here. No, because you see, what you've done is you've assumed that I'll be doing the same thing with them.
I did assume that, because you demonstrated such a lack of imagination there, I thought that would continue across
yourself with a poor and imbalanced opinion of the partnership.
Ah, interesting. Wrong, but fascinating.
Sorry, yeah. Well,
keep going though. So talk me through this. So I'm picturing bowls.
So in the cups,
I thought it was bowls.
I'm doing a comparison.
Okay.
In the cups, tell me, what can you fit?
Paper.
Yeah. About how much?
I'd say the way you tend to fold them, maybe 10 max.
10 max.
10 max pieces.
And how much variation does that allow for, really?
10 factorial.
Yeah.
So loads.
It's quite a lot.
It's a huge number.
But the thing is we're constricted by time.
Well, of course we are. And that's not just a statement about the podcast.
No, that's just
the universe.
Mortality itself. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling on that?
Yeah. Oh, good. Don't talk to me about it.
Good.
Thanks.
That's all right. What I'm thinking is that it's not about the number of pieces of paper, but it's about the size of the pieces of paper. And that can take us down all number of roads. Bigger fonts, for example, because sometimes I see you struggling to read because you're an old man.
No, I've actually had my eyes tested, and I believe you're the one that has glasses, whereas the optometrist looked at my eyes and said, not only are they a beautiful, dazzling blue, the likes of which Dumbledore himself could not aspire.
Is that on the file?
Yeah, it says in my big form. She said, these are the most perfect eyes I ever did see. And it would be, I asked, do you think I should get reading or and she said, no, let me stop you there. To even attempt to put on spectacles would be to make a mockery of my industry, and I wouldn't have it. Wow. So I was like, fine.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for the compliment. We shook hands, and I could see very well. I just
you could see her very well.
I could see her. Everything. That's the thing. I could see around me very well.
Oh, that is good. Okay. Well, maybe that's just something.
Yeah, I'm quite proud of
coming up for you then.
I'm quite proud of the eye health.
What I'm thinking then, if you don't want bigger fonts, more text.
More text could be good. How is it going to improve the end product?
What I'm thinking is we just turn into an audiobook podcast.
Okay.
But here's the catch: all the pages are in random order. And we just dive into
bypass the old digital millennium copyright.
Yeah, you can't
do them for it if it's random
because
orders.
there's not enough. It's like when they put videos up on YouTube and they just pitch the sound a little bit, or they put it in the side a little fake
that works
cinema.
Very well.
Yeah, no one's ever known one of those to be taken down.
Okay, so you're suggesting a feature where we randomise the pages of one or several books.
Oh, up to you.
And then just read them out.
Yeah.
I suppose my first question is, why is that good?
Well, because it's not just reading them out. Because it's not. What we do is we take our razor sharp wit.
I forgot to factor that in.
Didn't think about that. And we just sort of make little jokes about how it's all like...
Weird word choice, am I right?
It's all like in the wrong order. And you're like...
Okay.
Or you're like, oh...
But we put it in the wrong order, so I wonder if that's a joke area that has a lot of...
No, but that's irony.
That's what that means.
That's irony, yeah. And then, as well, it'll be stuff like... Oh, my God. It'll be stuff like... Yeah, I'll be reading, and I'll be like... And that's when Harry Potter... And it'll get to the end of the page, and then you'll pick one out, and it'll be like...
Once upon a time...
And Joseph begat...
Oh,
and we'll be like...
That was the Bible.
And that was... Yeah. And so... And we'll be like, oh...
So it's a comedy of juxtaposition.
Exactly. And that never gets old.
Well, it would only get old if we stopped bringing new material to the table. And looking at our bookshelf over there, we've got maybe 4 years worth.
I think so. Yeah, exactly.
And I mean one episode.
If we're alternating between that and hypotheticals,
which is an unending well.
That's our set for a long time, at least
for the business year 2019 to 2020.
Third Shameiversary. Yeah, exactly. And, obviously we're going to have to be careful with the hypotheticals and with the bowls once we get to 2020 because you can't be putting any dwarf material
into the bowls or the hypos. That's fine. Anymore. I actually didn't have any dwarf mats
it's
planned.
It's actually something of a default of yours. That you sort of fall back on.
I don't think that's
sort of comedic.
I think you've confused me with Martin McDonough.
Oh well, no, it's flagrant in his work.
Interesting.
In fact, it's all that's keeping it going, seemingly at the moment. But you do tend to go down the dwarf road.
Well, size. It's not just dwarfs; it's size. Size.
Oh, I see.
Which, as an intellectual pursuit, is an endless well of fascination. What if this guy was very large? What if they were very small? And I'll leave those two questions with you to ponder until next week, when I assume you'll have an answer ready.
Yeah, I'll write it.
Don't be putting it in a cup. You're one step ahead. Look, we're coming up to the end of our time, and this has been an episode, like I say, of just lathering ourselves in the frothy creative juices that squish out of our brain folds, and really just getting those suds working and seeing, when you peer into those fractal-esque bubbles, what kind of avenues of content present themselves. And it's plain as day to you, to me, to the listeners, that already we've got 2 incredible plates spinning for 2019.
2 incredible
bowls spinning. Very good.
That's just a taste of some of the kind of quick thinking that is going to really define 2019, 2020.
Yeah, and that has been lacking so far from your previous episode performance, from what you've said specifically.
2 years of our content.
As we draw this episode to an end, I think we should take a moment to reflect, a moment to think back over what has been, that we might acclimatise ourselves to where we are now and to what will become. The show has gone not from strength to strength, because life isn't about that. Life isn't one upward jungle gym towards God's great big gaping mouth in which he'll swallow you down into heaven. It's just not. I know that to be true, and you know it as well in your heart of hearts. Life is a chaotic wafting between highs, between lows, between that all-important apathetic midline that I myself have chosen to power through to the very end.
And you never see him without a smile on his face, so you know it's doing well. Look, we have looked into the face of the angel of content, and we have seen the truth.
Yeah.
So you can believe this as fact, as divine intervention.
Absolutely.
We have been spoken to like Moses atop that great big hill, and instead of carving it into stone like him, the fucking fool, we've just recorded it onto a podcast.
We're carving it into your ears and brain. That's what memory is, in a way. And you'll remember some things from this podcast, and therefore our voices carved, etched into the very fabric of your being.
Into the grey matter.
Lovely.
Or the white matter.
Really nice to know about that. And that's power, isn't it? And it's a power that we wield advisedly, and will continue to do so. We should thank, of course, the bedrock of this show, me. And then just above that, the foundation, which I believe is above the bedrock, if I remember my Minecraft well.
Yep.
Which is the listeners.
Wow.
And then the kind of cherry on the top, and that's not a ginger thing, is obviously Declan with his fun cut-based performances. Really skirting around the meat problem as it appears.
And just bringing, the majority.
Yeah, bringing something to the table. It's impossible to quantify, bordering on invisible.
I could go back and just count.
No need. Thank the listeners, Declan.
Guys, honestly, the only reason that we do this is that one day, hopefully, we can write something off as a tax expense. But adjacent to that is for you guys, and because you do listen, and because your listening has taught us, both of us, I think, to respond to the needs of others.
To be better men.
In ways that we didn't necessarily always do before. And to think, wow, I would rather just go to bed. But what I'm going to do
instead
is I'm going to find some
tweet
goddamn...
first and say episode will be out in March. See you next week. Oh dear, how we laugh.
But to find something and to give to you guys this sweet, sweet nectar.
Yeah, from our beacock, I suppose. I think that's how they work.
Just coming this content of pollen.
Yeah, up the stamen.
Straight into you. And
sorry about that, everyone, because it was a heartwarming moment otherwise before it went really off the rails.
So we are extraordinarily grateful and indeed humbled, whether ye be from Canterbury, from Michigan, from the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
God, hats off to you guys.
Whether you be anywhere on this sordid earth or even up in the outer space, if you live on the moon listening to this podcast,
the clangers,
get in touch.
Absolutely.
Because it is, as ever, as with almost all of these types of endeavours, it is the fans that keep it going. And we are always grateful.
We're wafted by you. Because what is the act of creating art, if not a celestial game of idea squash? Where the more walls you have to bounce those balls right back at you, the more profound the spin on the ball.
Played much squash?
I recognise that I played it on the Wii, and it was a very good and complex game. And as we throw out these shuttlecocks of wit, of truth,
with our bats,
of poignancy, with our great big cricket smashers off into home base, know that every time you rise to the challenge of emailing at tass@shame.city, tweeting at That's a Shamecast, using the contact form, winging us a Patreon message at patreon.com/shamecity.
It's a real home run.
Absolutely, every time. And that ultimately is a bullseye. I've been Isaac, you've been...
I've been Declan.
Here's to year 3. High five.
The bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. For the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder, my new home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. Necessities, the bare necessities, the bare necessities of life will come to you.